All right, everyone. We've got Giorgio Marinof on with us this week. This kid has seen a lot. He's still a young guy yet, and has had a whole lot of experiences, and we're going to pull some of that stuff out of him today. So, all right, Giorgio, why don't you give us a little update on where you're at and what you're doing now, man?
Sure. Well, as you guys know, I am in Florida right now, living in Orlando, and pretty much what I'm doing is I'm working Uber Eats, delivering food for people, trying to make some money so I can afford for tennis tournaments and just better equipment for my rig on, playing guitar, all that good stuff, trying to make some shows, make some money out of that. After all, my main objective is to make it big with tennis. That's what I'm trying to make all this stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you, man. That's awesome, dude. So, we heard a little bit in the last time we talked. We heard a little bit about your tennis and career. Tell us, give us a refresher. How did you get into tennis, and how far have you gone with your career thus far?
Well, first of all, my dad wanted me to do this sport. I started at the age of 1 because he was always a fan of tennis. He always wanted to be a tennis player when he was my age. And it never worked out for him, so he was with the circus. And he said, one day when I'll have a child, I want him or her to play tennis. And
awesome.
That's how it started off. So yeah, I've been playing tennis since age 1, and at the age of 7, I did my first competitions. From there till 2012, I stopped because I was in Romania for 3 years, doing school and tennis also. My dad wanted to leave me there so I can be like a normal kid, like the other normal kids do. Do your homework, and then you can do anything you want, practice,
right.
Whatever. After that, my mom couldn't take it anymore because I always gave her a call, told her that the teacher from my school was, in a way, racist, like with the nationals and stuff, because I was the only American at that school.
Okay.
And she flunked me at school a lot of times because I was American.
Well, that's not all right.
Yeah, she couldn't take it anymore. She said, that's it, bring my child back. And since then I was with them from 2009. Then in 2012, got back to the tournaments. Was really getting these nervous systems, I guess. Just like getting back into the game.
Okay.
Competing.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, in 2014, I went to John Newton Tennis Academy. Very famous Australian player. He used to be number 1. It was in Newcastle, Texas. Been training there for 6 months and progressed a lot. I won 4 tournaments in a row,
wow.
One over the other. All the coaches were amazed by it. The head of the coaches gave me so much props at the end when I had to leave back with circus and touring. I was an inspiration at that place that even now he still talks about me. Like, I never made an excuse on anything, never complained, always came back to the academy after the tournaments, even though they allowed me to have 1 day off. And from there, we just, I'm here trying to compete. Didn't work out too good for the past 3 years because I lost my momentum, my positivity in the game. So it's kind of hard, but I'm trying to get back to it.
So you're back down in Florida. You were up here in Wisconsin, like literally 45 minutes from my house. For a while in the Wisconsin Dells. What were you doing there, man?
Okay, so how it turned out was when we arrived in Wisconsin in 2014, I believe. We stayed there for the summer because we were off work. We did not have any contracts anymore with the shows, so we had to find a place to stay just for the summer until we had something coming up. And then from there, we stood with our cousin, my cousin actually, at his place for a bit, so we had to find an RV park just to chillax. But while we were waiting, I found this haunted attraction called Zombie Outbreak in the Dells area, in like Delton. So I found it really interesting how it was that they had like live actors and all this scary stuff that you can do. I was really into it, but they said that you had to be 18 to go there. So I said, oh, okay. When we were waiting for another country to come up, we went touring again in Chile and Santiago de Chile,
okay.
And then in Valparaiso. So it's really nice there. The people are so nice. They're all chill. And we just kept doing this back and forth coming back to Wisconsin, touring again. Coming back to Wisconsin, touring again for 5 years till 2016. We did our last tour in Germany, Munich, with Circus Crown. It's the second best circus in the world, next to Ringling Brothers, which is number one.
That's fantastic.
They've been around for 200 years.
Wow, man, that's crazy cool.
Oh yeah. So we got back, finally turned 17. My boss allowed it that I can work under 18. It was not a problem because he knew who I was, because I was playing at that place 20 times, and he's like, "Why don't you work for us?" And since then, I was just, let me just work here at this zombie area, scare the shit out of people, which is totally fun. Doing it for 3 years, got into music, getting along with people, trying to save up some money to do the tournaments, but it didn't work out as planned. So last year, everything just finished. My main intention was to stay in Wisconsin because of work, and it was only that place. Because if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't stay in Wisconsin. So that place shut down. It's not available anymore. So that's the only reason why I moved back to Florida.
Gotcha. So, you've been practicing tennis again?
Not for the past 3 months now.
Okay.
No.
So, you've toured the world basically with the circus. Can you tell us what you did in the circus and some of the places that you've seen, man? Because I know that I've basically been to Wisconsin and then some other states here and there, but I haven't really traveled a whole lot, so I'm kind of jealous and I'd like to hear more about it.
Sure. Well, to give a fresh head start, it's an upside down world. When you go to Europe or you just go down to South America, everything is different compared to North America. Like everything, the mentality, the society, everything. It's a whole new world, man. It's like you've never been here before.
That sounds cool, man. I mean, it's always nice to see something different. I mean, here I live in Wisconsin and I have most of my life, but then I lived in Texas for 7 years. And when I moved down there, I thought it was a whole different world too, and still in the same country. But I mean, I don't know, the culture's different from area to area of the United States. So I can't even begin to imagine what it's like going to another country.
It's very interesting, but any other place how it is. Some places are good, some places are bad. You just gotta deal with it, I guess, if you're in that area.
That makes sense. So, where's your favorite place that you've been so far?
My favorite place? My favorite place was in Germany, Munich. The last time when we toured. The people were really interesting. How it was, the culture, the towns and everything. Everything is just arranged. Clean streets. Everything is just correct. If you don't arrive in time, then, the people, they will just kind of be a little strict with you. So I like how the process goes over there.
Okay. We know you're kind of a fan of Dead, right?
Yes.
So, how many shows have you seen, and what was your favorite show?
My favorite show of all time
Yeah.
was Cannibal Corpse in Madison before I left Wisconsin.
Okay. So Cannibal Corpse, I know that you're a huge fan of Cannibal Corpse. What was it about the show that actually that you dug so much?
First of all, staying close, face to face with the artist. Like the barricade was 5 feet away from them. I was like, dude, this is like the best thing ever that happened to in my entire life. I was blown away, and I was just saying, "Oh my god!" for the entire full set.
Awesome. That's it's super cool, and we've had that. A bunch of us were fortunate enough to have that experience, with Dead so far, which has been pretty sweet. As you probably saw on Dead Nation, they're posting videos and pictures from Epicenter last weekend, where they were riding the rail, and Joe was standing there literally right in front of the group of Dead Nation people singing and just bringing everybody in. Man, it was super cool. So, Dead shows, right? How many have you been to?
4.
4? You got me beat, damn it. So, what was your favorite Dead show?
At the Bottom Launch, where we had the family reunion.
Awesome, man. Yeah, I think that's going to be one that's going to be a permanent standout for me. That's my favorite show thus far, too. I don't know that we're going to be able to top it, but damn it, we're sure going to try. So, you play guitar as well. How long have you been playing?
4 years.
And what got you started playing?
As I Lay Dying,
okay.
The band. That was the main reason why I wanted to get into it, but not even that. It was yet again, Cannibal Corpse that got me into it. In 2007, I saw Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, and he was at that one scene where he was walking around in this small gig, and that was Cannibal Corpse, but I never knew what was their names, because I was a kid. I wasn't paying attention to the logo or anything, and I did not know how metal music worked, but I was just, wow, these guys were awesome. I want to start playing guitar.
And have you taken any lessons at all?
Yes, I took a few lessons, but it was not worth it, to be honest.
How come?
I could have learned by myself just by checking YouTube videos or just tablature vids or anything like that. When you pay the teacher to show you a few things, yeah, I mean, it's okay if they can show you, like, you know, a few tips and tricks, but doing it excessively every week, not a way to go. I definitely recommend to do it by yourself with self-taught, because you learn faster like that.
Okay.
Learn favorite parts from your songs. Just repeat the same riff, whatever you like, till you get used to it. Then you can do the entire song and make a cover out of it, or make your own sound.
And you've definitely made your own sound, and we've heard it within the week so far. You know, how big of a challenge is that, man? With you guys being all over the country and nobody in the same room doing this together, how tough is that to do?
At first, it was tough, because we didn't have any ideas how to manage sending these clips to each other, audio messages or anything like that. But once we had Jump done, Jump was the hardest song that we had, because we were still new to this, you know, sending voice memos one to another on emails.
Right.
We had about 30 plus takes on Jump.
Wow.
Because I messed up without the metronome, and with the metronome, trying to stay in tune on 80 beats per minute.
Okay.
And then down to 75, because I had to switch it on the metronome while I was putting that pause for the breakdown. But after Jump, we had Useless,
right.
That was quick to do, and then Bloodbath. It was a little challenging for me, because I had to get the top wrist and then the bottom wrist down at the same time, synchronizing with B-man's guitar. But overall, it's a fun challenge, to tell you the truth. Just sending it one to another, we know what to do now. I do my part of the guitar, I send it to Germs. After Germs, he sends it to Mark. Mark does it with B-man on the guitar and bass. Get the songs done.
And then, how is it determined? How is it determined who's going to be doing the vocals?
It was Jeremy and Mark. They both decided, like, hey, I can do a few songs with my vocals. You can do a few with yours, or we can just mix it up. It's not really guaranteed who does vocals. It's, you know, we just do it for fun.
So, do you guys ever utilize, like, Facebook, like kind of what I do with the podcast, and call people via Facebook? You know how you could do the group call like we did when I interviewed all you guys together. You guys ever do that and figure out, you know, kind of brainstorm and kind of like get the creative mindset going in order to kind of help write the new songs?
Definitely. We either send messages to each other or voice messages, like, you know, because you know how we have the voice memos and everything on the party chat. We
right.
make funny jokes and stuff, giving them one to another. Like, if we have a lot to explain, we use the voice audio thing, send it to each other, say, hey, you know, we got to tweak this a little bit, you got to do that, I'll do this, or I'll redo this, you can do the drums, or I'll just wait, and it makes everything so much easier.
So with your creative process, because it sounds like you guys definitely are talking to each other about it, do you actually write music and lyrics and all of that stuff together, or do you guys kind of take your own pieces and after you're figuring out what's going on and just kind of play it and put it together?
Pretty much both.
Okay.
We actually have unique genre styles of music too. Each one of us have different tastes in music. And the boys listen to nu metal more than any, like, I don't know, death metal music or any of those heavy genre styles. I'm the one that listens to the heavier ones, like beatdown metal, slam metal, deathcore metal, all these good genres that have these awesome sounds. And you also have Matt that does deathcore too, that he does cytherism. So
right.
each one of us have these tastes in music. We can all combine the genres and the elements of these parts, put them in one song together, and you'd have a mixture of new metal with alternative, with a little bit of deathcore if you want, or heavy metal, you name it.
And that's that you just hit on a question that I was going to ask, was because I know that you guys and your tastes and what you like are all over the board. It comes through in the music, and it's noticeable, and it's even noticeable from certain parts of the songs to the next part of the songs to another part of the song, where things change it up a little bit, and that's one of the things that I think is most unique, and I dig a lot about you guys, is the fact that there's actual variety in one song. It's not just from song to song.
Oh yeah, it's really interesting how we just managed to do these things. It's like we were meant to be,
right?
To all meet together in one place, one party chat, send to each other, riffs, ideas at least we bring to the table. Like, hey, this is what I got. You guys like it? You don't like it? Let me know. Yeah, we like this part. Try to do something extra with this one. Take this one out, add it to this one, and just combine it together. The drums come in, and then bass.
Perfect. So you guys definitely have a system, and one thing I've noticed is that the level of tightness between you guys, like when you guys are playing and everything, even though you guys aren't in the same room, I can see that it's grown more. You guys are playing, it's like you understand where your heads are at when you guys are playing, even though you're playing states, from 5 states away or 10 states away, even in some cases. So I don't know how the hell you guys do it. I don't know how the hell you guys have mastered the process, but it's coming along really nicely, and I think within the week it's going to be a force to be reckoned with someday.
Oh yeah, man, much appreciated.
So you talk about circus. What did you do? I'm kind of bringing it back.
Yeah.
What did you do in the circus?
I was a assistant for my parents. I was helping my mom with the web, as you saw in the video as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the kid that holds her life in my hands with the web, because
right.
I was the only one that was really good at holding her with the web, because the other prop guys were not good. They were like pulling the rope too tight or just leaving it too loose. That it was just making my mom put a lot of effort. So
Sure.
then my parents made me help them out, do the web for them, set up the props, tear down the props, put them in the truck, and possibly in the trailer, move out to the next town. So that's pretty much what I was doing in the show, assisting my parents, and did a few favors for the show owners to do a comedy act.
A comedy act?
Yes.
Okay, I want to hear about that now too.
Okay, so how it starts, I'm a nerd that listens to metal, so I'm a metalhead nerd.
Awesome.
Alternative clown, if you want to name it. So I'm not exactly a clown, but just, a comedian. I just go up to the stage, interrupting the ringmaster's next announcement, and I just listen to music with these bulgy headphones on my head.
Okay.
And he stops by and just like, hey, excuse me, what are you doing here? You are interrupting the show. No, I'm not. I'm listening to my music. Mind your own business. And everything just keeps on going until he decides to listen to my stuff, and I push play, and then I have System of a Down with Needles from the Toxicity album playing up. And then I have Sugar coming up as the second one. He takes the phone away from me, bashes it on the floor, stomps on it, tosses it in the trash. I get all sad, open up the box, nothing works until I open it a few times. It comes back to life. I started doing a few hip-hop dances, and show is over.
Dude, that sounds fun. Is there any footage of that out there?
On my profile on the Facebook live feed.
Is it really sweet?
I have no idea it's still there.
I'm going to have to check, because I'm going to have to watch that now, dude. That sounds hilarious. You're part of Dead Nation. Were you, if I recall correctly, you, or like me, you were one of the early comers into Dead Nation. Is that right?
Yes.
What was the first show you saw?
Korn at the Rave in Milwaukee.
In Milwaukee.
Yes.
And so that was Korn and Dead, huh?
It was Dead, King's Bounty, and then Korn. Which
Okay.
This was my second show of all time, because the first one was Five Finger Death Punch, then the second one was Korn.
Gotcha. So, what got you hooked into Dead, like the first time that you saw them?
All right, here we go, because this is what I was waiting to explain. So when the show finished, Korn finished the show, I was half deaf. I couldn't hear anything. I was just talking to a few people, and I was looking for my mom because she was at the balcony.
Okay.
And I was at the general admission because I was afraid for her to be with me next to the pit because I did not want her to get crushed by people because she's a little claustrophobic.
Gotcha.
So I told her, yeah, just stay up at the balcony. But when we were about to leave the rave, something Amy just told me, go to the merchandise section and check if there's any cool merch for Korn. So I decided to do that. I asked my mom, hey mom, let's go up to the merchandise and see what Korn got. And when we went up there, we see a bunch of people just crowding up something. And I was like, what's going on? Oh, hey, look at that. It's the guys from Dead.
Nice.
That's cool. So what are they doing? Like free meet and greets and stuff? And then when I first saw that, I was like, wow, these guys are doing free meet and greets? And I spent $500 on Five Finger Death Punch. Hell yeah, I'm going to go talk to the boys.
Hell yeah. That clearly wasn't the first time that you got to talk to them, but so is that what got you hooked? Was the fact that, you know, hey, they're hanging out with fans right at, you know, after their show and everything?
Yes, that's the one.
And you know, dude, I think that's amazing too, and I think that's part of what won me over too. First time I saw him was actually at Sonic Boom,
right.
And they actually opened up the day, and it was kick ass, man. And then they were at the tent signing stuff and hanging out with people for a while, and it was a good line to get in and wait and talk to them, but man, it was worth it. And it's been like an uphill ride ever since, man, a fun ride ever since. And, you know, I'm thankful for that because I get to hang out and I get to meet people like you and Mark and Jeremy and Kat and Dan and Tiffany and Mindy and holy shit, I can't even name all the people I've met, man. And it's a family.
Mm-hmm. It definitely is.
So I'm looking at your Facebook page as we speak. Who did the art for Within the Week?
Jeremy.
Jeremy did? Okay. Did you guys all play a part in it, or did he just take it and run with it?
It was more like a Giphy kind of picture that he found it online.
Okay.
On Facebook, and he took a few snaps on it, and he was like, hey, look at this. It's a flying soul. You guys think that's cool? Sure, why not? Put it up there. And then we had to come up with the names. And we came up with the names of Syrup, Stitched Up Smile, Insomniac's Wasteland, Within the Week, and there was one more, but I forgot. I was the one that came up with Syrup. The main reason why, it's a short name, it's simple, and it's close to the other bands like Dead, Korn, Snot, you know, all that good stuff.
Right.
But it turns out that nobody liked that name on the poll when I posted it, and I was like, oh, sad story for me, story of my life.
So, dude, I'm looking through a lot of your Facebook pictures, and you have a shit ton of pictures with just people from bands. So, I mean, I can't even begin to name all the bands that you're hanging out with. What has been the coolest, like, meet and greet experience that you've had?
Cannibal Corpse, and with Grindhead Welch.
I can imagine that would be sweet. So, what about those made those so cool for you?
It's first of all, it's from their music, how it is, the way how they make the sounds, the meanings of them, or the instrumental parts of the drums, the vocals, bass, guitar, you name it. They just sound so cool that it's an inspiration that you get for listening to this kind of music. And then when you meet the artist, it's like a one-time thing in your life that you get to have meeting these people. And by seeing them on the interviews on YouTube or how they perform on stage, it gives you that excitement that you really want to meet them in person, at least, and just say, you know, hey, you guys are awesome. I would love to see you again.
Right. And, I mean, you know, the I don't know, man. There are some bands where, and I've you know, gotten to meet several bands, and there are some bands that are just like, okay, hey, picture go. For meet and greets, you know, and even some VIP stuff. It's like, oh, hey, picture time, and then get the hell out. You know, I like the smaller venue shows because that really doesn't happen a lot, and I think you actually get to hang out with bands more at a smaller venue. I'm actually looking forward to this Wednesday. I'm actually going to Bad Flower up in Beaver Dam. on Wednesday, so I'm looking forward to that. And it's going to be a small venue show, so I'm digging that. But have you done the big venue meet and greets with the bigger bands too?
Yes, that was Five Finger Death Punch. It was a 10-second meet and greet talking to the members. It was 4 of them. Ivan was missing because he had his alcohol problems and whatnot.
Gotcha.
But I still did not care because I was like, hey, I spent $500, man, to see you. And he missed. He was just missing out. So that crushed my dreams on seeing a Five Finger Death Punch, and that was the heavy metal band that started to make me understand music more and how albums work, how bands work, how everything worked out. And that was like the kickstart of everything. But then I started to slowly dislike Five Finger till 2 years ago. I'm like, yeah, these guys suck. I don't want to listen to them anymore. Especially Ivan, he still owes me a photo. I told Chris about it on Instagram. He was like, well, go ask him then. Or tell him. Sure, I will. How about you do me a favor and tell him as well, because you guys are always next to each other.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and you're right. So, part of the meet and greet experience, man, is talking with everybody. It's not just somebody decides that they don't want to show up and you don't get to participate with them. So yeah, no. So how are you feeling about Five Finger Death Punch now?
Nothing, to be honest.
No good, no bad, just kind of whatever.
Yeah, just whatever. I'm just walk it off because I don't have to put that much frustration into it. You know what happened? I took a photo at least with 4 members, so it was good enough.
I'm gonna circle back again. This zombie outbreak thing in the Dells. Tell me more about that. What did you do there?
I was a staff sergeant giving instructions to customers on how to play the game and how to avoid the zombies shooting them in the head. One shot to the head. And I was a zombie as well.
Oh, I got you. Cool.
People.
So how was it? And that's what I was hoping you were going to say, is that you were a zombie too. So when you're playing the part of a zombie, what are you actually doing, and what's your main goal when you're doing that?
Well, main goal is normally how the rules go into a haunt. Normally at a haunt, you stay in one spot, you scare the person, then you go back into your room, you scare the next one.
Okay.
That's how a normal haunt is. But this one was a little bit more different. You can free roam in the building, following the customers. And usually we have the rule that, okay, just go easy on them, start free roaming on one room to this room, you can stand half over here, the other ones stay on the other side of the building. And I was like, okay, sure. But as you know, I'm the stubborn one and don't really care. I decided to free roam everywhere and just scare the living shit out of people, especially
Right.
little kids.
Screw the rules. Have fun.
Yes.
And it sounds like fun. So what you're saying is you enjoy scaring the shit out of people.
Definitely. 100%.
So do you have any specific memories of like scaring the shit out of people and some of the funniest reactions you got?
Oh man, I have so many of them. I don't know which one to tell first.
Just pick a couple.
Okay. We had a group of 4 VIP girls. They were all scared shitless, and I had to give them the instructions as the staff sergeant. So I had my hat backwards, just looking a bit more intimidating towards them. So they were just listening to me what I was saying. I gave them the rules, and not even halfway, one of them just chickened out because of my appearance. I was like, okay, sure, go right ahead. I mean, we're not giving no refunds. Bye-bye.
Nice.
The other 3 come up. I bring them into the first room, and we have this puppet zombie. His name is Biter Bill, which I decided to dress like him because I love the puppet so much. And his name is Biter Bill, so I said, hey, call me Biter Bill, that's the zombie. We go through there. They're scared, or they're all terrified. I bring them into the next area. I open this giant bulkhead door. The first zombie comes up from the first room. The other zombie comes up from behind us, too. And then this girl does a 360 spin, shoves a barrel right in this girl's eye socket almost. And I was like, oh, jeez, we got to get this girl out. She started to cry. Oh, dude, it was awful. And then, okay, another good one. This was the first year when I started. We had this guy, he was from Chicago, and he was just, wow, this place is cool. What's it about, man? Yeah, it's a zombie place. You shoot zombies, you have fun, going through a hunt, but with a gun. It's not an actual gun. It has, infrared laser. You can't see anything but just the muzzle flash from it. I was like, oh, man, that's cool. All right. He goes into the puppet room. We bring him to the bulkhead door. This guy's already terrified. He's like, you've seen I don't know. It's like he's seen the devil or something. 5 zombies come up after him. We just chase him down into the sewer area, and everything is dark at the sewer place. He gets cornered in one of the pipes, and he cannot go anywhere. So all of us just like slowly get close to him, and he has his gun ready. He's just like, oh my god, get away from me! Shooting every single one of us, trying to force his way through the next area at the hospital. We call it the medical.
Okay.
And it has this awful decomposed rat smell, it's so cool. But these are like these little pellets that have that specific smell. We don't have an actual dead rat. He makes it through the course, and once he gets out, he goes out from the building with the gun and with the band around his waist, trying to play the game. And it's like, yeah, I'm out of here.
It sounds like it was a fun job, dude.
It definitely was. It's the easiest job too. We could use our phones anytime we wanted to until the customers come up. We do our job. When we're done, we use our phones. We eat something. We talk. Whatever. It's all that good stuff. Everyone from the company, they were all from Chicago. I was the only one that was the Floridian one, and then we had a few that were from Wisconsin as well.
Okay, and that's no longer.
No longer.
No, that sucks because you know what? That's something I would actually love to have taken because we vacation in the Dells every year. And it's something I would have loved to have taken my kids to this year. I would love to see them lose their shit in one of those places, just because I'm a mean dad. But I think it would be fun to just to watch them absolutely lose their mind in there.
Oh yeah, man! Like if they don't behave, just bring them by. We'll take care of it. We'll scare them.
Right.
Stir it up, and yeah, we're good.
They will never misbehave again.
Oh, they will not. Definitely not, because one of the staff dudes at the armory where he sets up the guns is like, next time you don't listen to your parents, they're going to bring you back here, and you know what's going to happen. All the zombies will take care of you.
Right. You just
start running. Yeah.
You just took the words right out of my mouth, dude. The zombies will get you.
Yes.
So,
definitely.
Other than bands, with the circus stuff, have you had the opportunity to meet like famous people?
Only a few, because we were always touring and we did not have time to go to shows or see a famous person face to face. But we did see Jeff Dunham, the ventriloquist at the Big E. I think he was in New Jersey.
Okay.
And it was a really good show. It was having the set with the puppets that he was talking. He had like 5 of them. It was like a 2-hour show. It was really cool. Other than that, there was nothing else. Like I've never seen a band in my life till 2016 with Five Finger Death Punch. Never met any other famous people. Well, except for the famous football player Fido, Portuguese guy.
Okay.
And when we were in Lisbon, Portugal, he's a very famous soccer player, and he came by to the show and checked us out. I tried to talk to him and ask him in Portuguese, like, "Hey, can I take a quick photo, man?" He was looking at me, but then just ignored me and was like, I hate you right now. I'm going back to my room and I'm just going to cry.
If you could do anything in the world, no holds barred, no rules, what would you do?
I don't know yet, to be honest. All I just want to be is, a good inspiration for other people, help people out, go through their problems, just, I don't know, just accomplish my dreams to make it big with tennis, because that's my main goal. I'm trying to make it with tennis and music. Music is just a hobby, but my main career is tennis, and I want to make it big from there and start just meeting my fans, talk to every single one, and take my time, accomplish their dreams to meet a tennis star or a rock star.
Right.
The thing is that I've never really had as a kid, or to meet some rock stars that I wish to speak with them, but some of them are just stuck up and they don't want to talk to you, and that really crushed my dreams, and I don't want that to happen with my fans. That's
actually really cool because when people are just when before people become famous, it's like they're really down to earth, and then all of a sudden they become more well known, and all of a sudden talking to people and talking to fans and everything seems to become a hassle for them. And I think it's cool that regardless of where your life takes you and how far as you progress and the further you go, that you don't want that to happen. I think that's not something you find a lot of.
Right.
So, have you seen the new Slipknot masks?
I did. Yes, we were just talking about that.
What do you think about those?
They're awful.
They're awful?
Yes.
You like the older ones better?
Yes, I like the Volume 3 mask, especially Corey's. It's
Okay.
has a really cool style to it. It has stitches on it, the acrylic tooth. I also have a replica mask from that as well.
Okay. Do you really?
Yes.
Nice. Anything else that you wanna like put out there for us?
Yes, I would love to.
Perfect.
I would like to say, if you meet anyone else that they have problems going through them, it doesn't matter what. If they need help, just jump out there and save them. Because you might be their only hope that you can actually, accomplish. Because that's how it was for Dead Nation for me.
That's
Before
awesome.
I knew Dead and Dead Nation, I had these problems that I could not even get over with. Just being afraid of everything, being insecure, always feeling left alone, not that anyone would care about me, how I was useless for other people that, they had no use of me to deal with or anything like that. And I was at around that time of just having suicidal thoughts on what was going to happen. When I had to leave Wisconsin, arrive to Florida, there was going to be new changes, and I had no hope, no belief in anything. I just said, that's it. I want to call it quits. No more Giorgio Marinof in this world. Until I found Dead Nation, and I did my first cover of Anti-Everything. And I told myself, here, I'm going to post this thing, and I want to see if anyone will just reply and say that, hey man, you did a good job. Turns out, 100 reactions, plus the best comments that I've ever seen in my life, and how I met these beautiful people, including you.
That's really good, dude. Man, I that's not what I was expecting, and I'm so glad that you brought that up. Dead Nation, man, that's what we're about. We're family, and that's what we lift each other up and we support each other. And I hate to hear of anybody going through some dark shit, but it happens to all of us. And man, don't ever, and this goes for you, and this goes for fucking anybody who's listening ever. Don't hesitate to reach out to me or somebody else, because like I always say, you're not going to burden a real friend with your problems, because they're going to want to help you out with them, because the world is a much better fucking place with you in it. Giorgio, I'm glad you're still around. I'm glad you're okay, and I'm glad that you're finding your groove again, dude.
Thank you very much, Don. I appreciate it.
Like I said, don't ever forget, man. You know how to get a hold of me. It's super easy to do, so don't hesitate to reach out anytime.
Absolutely, man. I'll hit you up whenever. I got you. I got the boys. I got the nation to talk with. There's no problem.
Dude, I think this is a great spot to kind of wrap it up. I think that was a great way to finish it up.
I think so too. It was actually really cool having this podcast. It's my first time doing this as well. I hope it turns out good.
Oh, dude, it's gonna be great. Of course, I'll be doing some editing and all that stuff. And like I said, I'm gonna post it on YouTube as a video, so I'll be able to throw in some pictures. If you have anything you want me to put up there, let me know.
Well, I can say one more thing.
Okay.
For all the people that have the power of ignorance, never judge a person that is going through problems that you do not understand or that you will ever go through. Just leave it be and help them go through that problem. Because if the ignorance that gets to you and eats you up and you start giving shit to that person, that might be the only cause of them ending their lives because of some harmful words that they could have been useful to help them go through that problem. So for all the ignorant people out there, if you feel like talking shit to someone, better don't. Or else you get your ass beat by the other nation of the people that they support them.
Well said, my friend, well said. I totally agree with that. You never know that the one hurtful thing that you say to somebody might be the one thing that puts them over the edge that day. So I always try, no matter what, to smile at somebody, or flash my tattoo at them real quick if they're not, if it looks like they're having a rough day, and just let them know that what, the world's a better place with you in it.
It definitely is. It's not worth ending yourself because of someone or anyone that just said something bad to you. You can just tell them, to just fuck right off, and you'll be good. Hang out with the positive people. Always stick around with the positive people. Never have one negative person, because that one negative will destroy your life. And I know, because I have my dad that is a negative person. That brings me down a lot. That's why I always have these negative thoughts. And also I had the recent panic attack that I first experienced, and it was horrible, dude. I thought I was gonna die. My arms and legs were just numb. I tried to call out for help. I spoke to the boys, and they were like my main hope to calm me down. I tried to talk to my mom, but she couldn't talk to me because she was at work, and she's all I got. It's only my mom that I have my trust on a lot, because without her, I'm dead. And it's tough when you have these moments that you feel helpless. You don't have no one to talk with, or if they're busy, you just like, dude, I'm stranded here. What's gonna happen next? And always just stay strong. No matter how afraid you are, you'll be okay.
Yeah, and that's I agree with that. And it's always gonna be as dark as it can possibly be before it turns itself around. So, if you can push yourself through that dark shit at the darkest point, man, you're gonna come out shining on the other end.
Most definitely.
Dude, this was a really good chat.
Oh yeah, man, it really was. I definitely enjoyed it. Looking forward for another podcast, man.
Yeah, definitely gonna do it. I think in a probably in a few weeks, I would like to get you and the guys back to do one. Just kind of a touch base with where you're at and how you guys are doing with within the week, and your own personal stuff and all that too.
Oh yeah, man. So far we're doing really good. We got 3 tracks done ready. Just got to add up the vocals and then some guitar parts, because everything is on Mark's end. So we're just waiting on him.
Gotcha.
We got some good stuff. We got some really good stuff for you.
I'm looking forward to it, man. I know everybody else is too. Well, that brings us to the close of yet another Dead Nation Fam podcast. I want to thank you guys on behalf of Giorgio and myself for toughing it out. And to kind of continue on what Giorgio said with the whole speaking out thing. If you're going through some shit and you're feeling awful, don't ever hesitate to reach out to pretty much anybody in the family. You know that we all got your back and we all have each other's backs. Take advantage of that when you're feeling down. Don't feel like you're a burden. Much love to you guys, and we'll talk at y'all soon. Later.